How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Mezcal Buzz. Today I want to address the notion that all agave spirits are traditionally a mezcal. But there was recently some discussion in a group about Destilado de Pulque, and many were saying, well, it's all mezcal. Not exactly. Keep watching. All right, my friends, let's get right to it. Let's talk about the differences of a Destilado de Pulque, which I have here. In this case, we have a reposado. You'll notice the dark amber color. And a Mezcal Pulquero, which I have right here. So let's talk about each of the characteristics and what makes them different. As you might know, the word mezcal comes from the Nahuatl word mezcali, which means cooked agave. It's basically an adaptation of the Spanish word for mezcali, mezcal. When the Spanish came to the Americas, they learned that the indigenous people were already doing fermentations from the agave plant, which is what we have here, pulque. And so pulque comes from the agave, but it's scraped from the quiote, the long stem that comes out of the agave when it's reaching its end of its lifetime, packed with all these sugars. So it's scraped and you get a sap, kind of like the aloe vera when you cut it and it's real gooey. It starts to come out. That's known as agua miel, and it's very sweet, it's very nutritious. And so when that's left overnight to ferment and produce alcohol from the gases, you get pulque. Okay, so here I have a mezcal pulquero. What this means is that this is a mezcal that is distilled from the agave salmiana, or it could be an agave americana, which is agaves used for the production of pulque. And I'll bring right away in a destilado de pulque. So they come from the same plant, a plant that produces pulque, but here's the main difference of the two. Remember we talked about mezcali, cooked agave. The mezcal is produced by cooking the agave, then crushing the agave and extracting its juices and all its sugars. And then that's what's left to ferment. Then when we have the distillation process, we're distilling the juices that were extracted from the roasted agave. The difference with the destilación de pulque, keep following, is that here we're actually distilling the pulque that came out of the agave. So we're not cooking the agave, we're not even taking the piña of the agave. We're only taking the fermented agua miel that was produced in the quiote of the agave. Many of the indigenous cultures of the Americas were fermenting agave from North America, which is now southern states of the US, Mexico, and even down into South America. Like this little sample that I have here is called Mezcal. Mezcal is from Ecuador, and this is a destilado de pulque. Why is this Mezcal in this destilado de pulque? Well, that's when we get into the denomination of origin, and that's like a whole nother video and explanation in of itself. Mezcal is a protected spirit with the denomination of origin in Ecuador, distilled from pulque. And if you're curious about this cool little sample here and how you could get this and about 56 other samples of different agave spirits from around the world, check out the link in the description to learn more about how you can participate in the Agave Spirits Institute certification program. This is a bottle of Tapuy Destilado de Pulque, and it comes from Jocotitlan, a town in Estado de Mexico, just north of Mexico City. And this is produced by Jesus Hernandez Sanchez. In case you're curious, I picked this up in Mezcalia in Mexico City. You have to stop by there whenever you visit Mexico City if you want to just check out an amazing selection of agave spirits. In the destilados de pulque, you're really going to notice some of the aromas of the fermentation, similar to those aromas that we get in the pulque, carry over into the distilled spirit, a little bit of a lactic smell. It's not as herbaceous or fruitful like a traditional mezcal would be. It does have some minerality to it, but you'll definitely notice that lactic sensation, kind of like dulce de leche or like condensed milk. Some sweet smell, especially being a reposado. Here I can really smell kind of like I'm smelling a flan. Very sweet, a lot of caramel in this one. Again, a lot of it's added with the aging. Let's taste it. Ooh, that's really good. I like it. It has almost like a charred sugar taste as well, kind of like when you have some of those desserts where they just flame the top with the sugar and it kind of crystallizes. It has like a crystallizing sugar taste. And last but not least, we're gonna serve up some Mezcal Pulquero. Again, this is a traditional mezcal, artesanal, produced from the agave salmiana, which is used to produce pulque. And so here I really start to get a lot of those herbal characteristics from the agave plant. A lot of green sensation in the smell. The aromas of the agave really start to kick in here, like fibrous agave, cooked agave, some tropical fruits, a little bit of crisp green apple smell, more fresh smelling versus that fermented smell coming from the distillation of pulque. Yeah, and very minerally. It's more coating in the mouth. I taste a little bit more of the alcohol in this spirit as well, but it's very good. It's very fresh, very crisp, clean taste coming from the traditional mezcal, and very different from the Destilado de Pulque. So there you go. I just wanted to do a quick video describing the differences between the Destilado de Pulque and a traditional mezcal. There are some differences there. I hope you picked up. If you want to weigh in and keep debating whether it's still technically a mezcal, we'll leave that in the comments below. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Enjoy.